Hello and welcome to my short documentary that you are not alone. 1 out of 4 people in this world experience sexual abuse of some sort at some point of their life. I'm talking men and women. I have been speaking out against abuse my entire life, it seems like, and I have the 6 personal power zones methodology to put your life back together after abuse. But what you might not know is 1.5 years ago, I was given an opportunity to walk myself through my own program. What I'm about to share with you was a rape. Luckily, I don't remember much of the evening. All I remember is that afterwards, I could barely hold my guts in my body. I felt completely ripped open. My intention behind this film is to share with you that even though I had been working around sexual abuse, even though I had been working in the field as a trauma recovery, ending the cycle of abuse as my life's mission, it can still happen. It's not your fault. It's not something that you called into your life. It is a horrible journey to enter into, and that you're not alone. There are tools and there's methods and there's ways for the courageous to reclaim your power and say yes to your life. So this film is done as if I knew I was making it for you. I didn't know if I was ever going to release it, but I just felt like I had to get it out. And so one thing that's really important is to talk out your story. So I let it off as if I was talking to you already. So let me set the stage. Months prior, I told a friend that I would go to an event with him to celebrate. And that was that. Going there, I love this place. It's my favorite place. And so I was doing some swimming, some inner work, and being in the trauma transformation industry, working on myself and reclaiming my life and repatterning my childhood trauma was something that I did whenever the opportunity arose. So I had this opportunity to really reclaim a piece of my childhood, and I did so that day. So I had called one of my coaches and I had reparented a beautiful piece of my childhood, a crappy piece of my childhood, into a rebirthing. So it was a big evening, and I really felt like, well, maybe I shouldn't go to this event. And I went anyway. That same evening, I got a call from a woman who was living with me, and she was like, I'm locked out of the house, come home. And I felt like I should, but I had had a glass of wine with dinner, and I was like, nope. So I did have 2 glasses of wine. I ordered a third, but I didn't drink it because I was dancing. And I went back to the room, which I had felt maybe I should get my own room, but we had double beds and I really set my boundaries. I felt good. All evening, the guy had been saying, I want your lips. And I was like, no, you can't have my lips. And I thought that I'd done everything right, except listening to my intuition. That's something that, as you'll see through this short documentary, that it comes up, that I didn't do that. I should have gotten my own room, even if I didn't have, logical money to do it, and I was trying to save some pennies. I maybe shouldn't have even gone. I had some warning signs before this that I didn't go. So anyway, we went back to the room, and I remember having some water, and then I literally don't remember anything else. I remember a few glimpses of him being behind me, and I remember telling him to get off me and to leave. I remember the pain. I remember hearing him smoking something, and that's it. So I woke up in the morning out of my dress, and I went to grab my phone, and I had a text from the guy I was dating, and he's like, I didn't like to receive a picture of you and another dude last night at midnight. And I was like, what? And then I started noticing that I was like, where are my clothes? What happened to me? All of my previous texts with that gentleman was erased, was gone, and I was just like, wow, okay, what happened? The person that I was sharing the room with came out of the shower and acted as if everything was okay. I knew that I needed to get out of the place, so I quickly got up and was like, I gotta leave. He's like, you want to go on a walk with me? Let's go into the woods. And I'm like, no, I'm leaving. I'm going home. I have to go now. Thank you so much for everything. Goodbye. And as quickly as I could, I went downstairs, and luckily the valet had my car. The guy wanted to walk me to my car, and I was like, nope, sorry, these guys already have it. And you know, I gave him a peck, and I was like, gone, trying to just be cool. I knew how to play that game, and I knew that first things first, I needed to get out of there. The second thing I did was I wrote this letter proclaiming my awareness of something had happened, and that he wasn't allowed to take my power. And I did an immediate process that was calling my power back to me. However, the effects of what happened hadn't sunk in yet. I was in a numb position. I was still putting the pieces together, and I was really trying to figure out what just happened with the guy I was wanting to date, and what went on, and asking him if he could help me put the pieces back together. And that was really my next move. I wanted to go to the cops, but I didn't, unfortunately. This is one thing I would have done differently. If I had known how date rape drugs work, I would have gone immediately, knowing that I had 12 hours to see if there was, to get my blood tested to see that there was that evidence. Really taking my own course and calling in what I knew and how I had helped other people come through the situation for themselves. Here we go.
You just woke up a sleeping giant. I am here to save the world. Fucking women. Like, we don't deserve this shit.
Days 4 and 5 got lost. However, throughout the course of this, I talk about what was coming up, and I can kind of remember it. I remember being really, really numb. I also remember sitting on the couch and having the emotion of shame and guilt come up so much that I can feel it now. I remember that shame and guilt was like the hardest feeling that I'd ever walked through. It was like digging through sludge. Stories started popping up, and I began to belittle myself and beat myself up. I tried to rationalize it by making excuses for what had happened or blaming myself, because it's easier for me to take responsibility. And I remember it being really, really painful. Over the course of the rest of this class, I talk about that. During those days, I was really just in it. I remember not really getting out of bed. I watched a lot of TV. I laid around. I didn't eat. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to get up. luckily I had people randomly call me from around the world, and people stopped by to coach and help me. I went out and was offered a job which I wouldn't have taken if that hadn't happened. And I know that I had a lot of fear. I was scared to be home alone. I was scared to be in my house. I was terrified of what was happening. We had the police coming over. I had a lot of fear happening in my body. All of these things are really normal and really natural. You just saw the anger come out of me on day one. So there's that.
So hello, welcome back to my video series, A Walk Through Recovery. My name is Antiqua Lisha, and I am the trauma transformer, or I was, coach. I help you see your beauty and be seen. And if you're watching this, you have been raped or hurt. It could have been yesterday, it could have been 20 years ago. However, for me, it was 6 days ago. So I am documenting this. I did my first video and decided to do the series yesterday. So hopefully you saw that. One thing I teach about in all my courses and doing trauma work with women and re-embodying the soul over the last decade is the awareness of their 6 personal power zones. And I've walked through mental and emotional abuse and narcissism and hanging out with that. And it is devastating to your mind and to your psyche. However, it is not so much to your physical body. I've walked through having an incident where I thought that my partner was going to kill me, suffocate me. That was really friggin' scary. I left my body spiritually. My physical body was hurt, but it was very physical. It wasn't too much mental. Like I knew crazy when I saw crazy. But it was very painful in my heart and emotional and physical. Rape is all those levels and all those layers, which makes sense as why after my childhood abuse, I went through the cancer and the rebellion and the numbing and all of these things that have, over a 20-year period. So I'm going to talk about the 6 personal power zones today and how normal they are and what you can do to support yourself in each of these levels, in each of these areas of your life, and put the pieces of your life back together. And I'm literally walking through it with you. So let's talk about physical. Right now, physically, my insides hurt. I'm physically still in pain. To think about being intimate with somebody, which was something I was open with, is even with myself, is really bad. So one things I'm going to do is first I went and I got a chiropractic adjustment because my neck was thrown out, my back was hurt, and it's not because of any physical thing necessarily happening to me. It's more of a reaction that your spine does for your body to put you in a life-saving situation, fight, flight, or freeze. And so if you're just coming out of a situation or in that, like, go to the chiropractor, get your spine adjusted, work with your spine. Yoga is really great too, and move. The next thing that I'm doing is I have a specialist who helped me when I lift my bladder after my girls, and she does internal work for the genitals and in that area. So I have an appointment with her this evening to see what's happening, to see if my cervix is okay, to see if things are working down there, because it's really painful. And in all honesty, I haven't gone to the bathroom yet, and I haven't eaten that much. I haven't been hungry. All things I believe are normal, as I've heard from clients and believe I experienced when I was young. So Yesterday I talked about what I went through the last 6 days mentally. So the first day was really confusing, kind of taking responsibility, trying to figure out what exactly happened, why am I hurting, did I lead them on? I mean, all these questions. And so having that mental state, my advice to you is I contacted some of my therapist friends. You can contact me and just talk it out, tell your story, tell what happened, allow that confusion to just kind of come out. It doesn't matter what you say, like all of it is just going to help it like get out. But my advice is not to meaning make. And when we make meaning, we're usually mean to ourselves more than anything. So as you walk through the natural emotions, which is the next layer, the emotional layer, it's natural for us to want to meaning make in our mind. So try not to make any judgments upon yourself when you're walking through the emotions. Yesterday I talked about the emotions, so the emotional body. Day 1, there was that confusion. I wanted the man I liked to like me still. Totally let that go now. Worrying about that. Day 2, there's that deep sadness, and that can grip you. Day 3, there was rage. I was so mad that it happened to me, and this you can utilize for action. Sadness, you're supposed to be sad. Confusion, it is confusing. So my advice to you is allow yourself to feel this way, to really feel it, to cry it out. Maybe you cry for a couple days. It's okay. You're not going to cry forever. I've had many clients say, if I start crying, I'll never stop. You will stop. You might have to cry for a week, especially if you experience childhood abuse and you haven't allowed yourself to cry. So my advice is to allow the emotions to come up and try not to meaning come to a judgment around them or make it mean something about yourself. The other thing that happens is as you come up with these emotions, you most likely will have emotions from your past show up to say, oh, see, you're like this. You really are, blah, 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 whatever that judgment is. This is a really great time to contact a coach or somebody close that can help you do EFT or CERT or NLP and reprogram your subconscious mind to let go of the old memories, get in the present moment, and move forward in your life. So this is really powerful, and I definitely have done that. So I'm watching my meaning making, really watching how I'm thinking, and then I am allowing myself to feel everything that's coming up. And it sucks sometimes. The shame of yesterday was like the worst. It's not going to feel pretty, but allow yourself to face those things, because then you don't depress them and you won't get depressed as easily. So the next body is your spiritual body, is your soul. Oftentimes when we experience trauma, our soul comes out of our body or it kind of gets stuck in our feet. We shove it down to protect our life, because our life is being threatened in that moment. And so, I do a thing of reseating the soul. There's meditations, things to focus on your heart, feeling your heart. Meditation is really great for this. Inviting your powerhouse, your soul, back into your body and reconnecting with spirit, with nature, regrounding to who you are. Very, very important. The next personal power zone is your relationships. Of course, this is going to affect your relationships. I'm like looking at men and I'm kind of terrified. I was dating, and there's a couple people that don't know, and I was asked out again, and I'm like, I don't know, I just can't do it. So this is normal. You're gonna look at people differently. You have more wisdom, you have more knowledge, you have more, I don't like that. You can see all the signs that are kind of making you feel bad maybe, but and why didn't I see that? But you can take this wisdom into your next relationships But the relationship mainly that you need to worry about is your relationship with yourself. Deciding, what do you want for you? How do you want your life to look? What does that mean, and what do you need to do in order to have that happen? These are really powerful places for you to be, to reconnect to your center, to who you desire to be in a relationship and who you desire to be. Another great relationship to start having with yourself is sexual. So once I feel well and my physical body is taken care of, then I'm creating a really sacred ceremony around sensuality and sexuality is going to be key, I know, even though I'm not there yet, so really respect yourself in that situation. The next is your purpose. So this video was me looking at my purpose and saying, okay, this has been my stance. Now I have this, new adult experience of being drugged and being raped. What does that look like? How can I offer? How can I serve in the world? Now, your rape might not have anything to do with you serving in the world at all. However, what it will do, it will anchor into who you are for you, and you get to decide how you want to show up in the world, in your purpose, at work, in your job. Maybe you have new information to serve, to help people. Maybe you have a deeper sense of compassion you can tap into. So I want to invite you into that, to speak up, to help the people, to make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else. Go to the authorities, anything that you need to do. And with that, I just want to explain the 6 personal power zones. I want to tell you that the walk through them sucks. I started a job, a humbling experience for me today, helping out at a chiropractic office here just for a little bit. And it's my first job in 15 years where I've gone in someplace. It's very... or 10 years, I guess, but very, very challenging to do this. And when I'm there, I'm in pain, and I'm standing there and I'm trying to focus on what I'm learning, and I'm like, I can't even focus. I'm not even here. And so all of this is normal. So if you are trying to learn something new, do something new, you don't feel like you can focus, you need to just take some time out for you. I want to invite you to do that. I don't know how I'm going to do that for myself, but I know that's something that I definitely need. And so if you can do that, I just encourage you to do that, and to really love yourself through this situation. And it will move faster than if you try to fight it, change it, meaning-making, or suppress any of your feelings. Because nothing that you're feeling is wrong. Love you, and happy recovery. Bye. So hi, this is Antiqua Lisha, and I am the Trauma Transformer, and we're on day 6 still. And today, this morning, as I said in my earlier one, I got my neck adjusted, and then tonight I came and I met with a wonderful healer who helped me when I had fallen bladder. And what we just did is I went through the experience again a little bit and allowed my cellular body to remember what happened, because you have issues in your tissues, as they say. But another thing that happens a lot in trauma is, like I said earlier in the video, that we pop in and out of our bodies as our souls, because our bodies are brilliant at saving our lives. So the healing happens when we're in our bodies. And I just want to have Kim just say a little bit about the technique that she uses, and then I want to invite you to look into working with somebody like myself that does reseeding the soul. There's a lot of resources out there for you to get your soul, your essence back in your skin, in your home, so you can then heal and re-empower all 6 power bodies that you're in. It's not pretty. It sucks. I was just shaking. I didn't breathe for a second. I saw, it sounds ballistic, but myself leave my body. I saw the scene above. I saw some of the memory of the event that happened last week. And then I had to come back in my body. My hands went into like a seizure kind of thing, and it was hard to breathe. And then I went through, different areas of emotion. So Kim, without getting on film, do you know? Will you just say a little bit about how this is normal and what you do?
I will. And this form of myofascial release is John Barnes' myofascial release, and what you just described is an unwinding or your body's ability to self-correct. So any healing, any true healing that is going to happen when you're in your body fully. And there's a thought out there that we bounce in and out all day long because memories are painful. We hold the memory of trauma in our tissue. And the only place healing is going to occur is when we're fully present and in our bodies.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as scary as it is to go back through these painful memories, the memories themselves don't injure you. This is never injurious to the body. Your body will never hurt you. Your body will go back into old positions of the trauma, and whatever's left unprocessed can be fully processed. So we talk.
And you don't have to remember it or go through dissecting it like in therapy.
And that's a good point.
It's
because we
let
have
go.
our thinking intelligence versus our feeling intelligence, and this is all about feeling. And as soon as we start thinking and we get into our thinking brain, we shut the process down.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to go back. That's a way to avoid. It's a way to go back and start thinking, and we talk ourselves in circles. We never fully heal from it.
So don't talk, and if you find yourself shaking or vibrating after the abuse or when thinking about the abuse or talking about it or any of that, know that that's normal and allow your body to release that in the tissues. That's all I'm going to say for right now. I just felt really moved to do this as it was guided back into my body, and now we're going to do some internal work. Because a lot of stuff got beat up down there, and you have all these resources in your neighborhood, I'm sure, as well. So I hope that you find them. Love you. Bye. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this walk through healing. This is Antiqua Lisha, and I am the trauma transformer. And last week I went through my first adult true rape. So it is day 7. Last night I slept in my child's room, 'cause people here, and I had some serious mandala, beautiful work done around me, and I went through the video that you saw previously, hopefully, about getting back in my body. I'm still very sad that the person that I liked was compromised, and that relationship is over, because that makes me very sad, but I have to let go. I'm feeling everything, like I'm shaky today. I'm going through all of the emotions now, so I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling scared, I'm feeling shaky, I'm feeling that fear of I don't know what is, and did this ruin my life, and the shame, and all the times that I had a chance to get out is coming up. So for instance, I felt uncomfortable around this person, and I told them absolutely, no relationship. I didn't want to be that. He was buying me gifts, and I'm like, you can buy them out of the goodness of your heart, but not, not for me. Like, please don't do that for me. I had times where I tried to lay down the law and kind of say where I was and how I felt about him, and I also felt like I should have not gone to the event, but I really love the place it was held. While I was at the place it was held, I was in the water. I was having major releases about my childhood, actually. Freedom. Lots of freedom was found that day with my childhood. And so I was actually going through processes, and I even worked with a coach that day for myself, and I really didn't feel like going to the event. I really felt like just kind of staying there, and I even thought about getting my own room, and I didn't. And at the event, I got a call from my roommate who was locked out of the house, and it was kind of God's call to leave. Because of all of this, I didn't want to really have any wine, but I felt like I wouldn't fit in. I mean, all of these places where I betrayed myself, where I didn't listen, didn't do what I wanted to do, showing up in all the places that I just didn't listen. So a lot of forgiveness has been happening this morning as I've laying here, just forgiving myself for all of that, forgiving that, asking God to forgive me, because I see how God was showing up in pretty major ways to get me away from that situation. And, forgiving the situation itself, forgiving my perpetrator to the extent that I can, and asking for that support, because I know that's where we get trapped. So, forgive the room I'm in, but I have a ton of kids playing, and I just need to get away, and this was the closest room. And I wanted to share this video before I got into mommyhood. A lot of it is in my emotional body. I feel very present in my physical body today. A little bit less pain. I did have those treatments yesterday, so that helped. I have anger coming up. I mean, every emotion, and it's all like right at the surface of my skin. Like I'm about to bust open and freak out. I'm shaky. Like I feel shaky and vibrational, like everywhere. And there's definitely a want to run away from this because it's so right in my face, and it's so every emotion. It's vibrational, right? It's your vibrational body. But instead, I'm just sitting with it. So meditation is something that's really good when you're feeling this way, when you're doing that. Remember, not meaning making, but oh, well, I could have done better there. I forgive myself for not. Oh, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. Don't shit all over yourself. But recognize those places as a place that you can forgive, you can let go, you can let go of it even more. And just being in the vibration of whatever it is, feeling the shakiness, acknowledging yourself for that. Because just like I was talking about yesterday, as my body was going through the shaking and the releasing, I feel this shaking, this releasing in my vibrational body now too. And it's really like you can kind of sense yourself right outside of your skin, like almost like inside outside, right? And you're like, ugh. And this is the emotion that people sense and feel when you walk into a room, when you become present with them. And so we can get stuck there. So if people have told you, oh, you're this way, and you're like, no, I'm not. Like, why are you feeling that? I'm this, oh, you're this way, and they're reading you wrong. It's most likely because there's some separation between you and your emotional body, your vibe. So meditation is the best way to do that, and just be with whatever it is. And when you're with whatever it is, the shakiness, the anger, the fear, the whatever it is right there at your surface, you're going to allow it to move, and it will flow from you. It will the dam will be broken, and you'll be able to get back into your flow, back into your life, and life will flow back to you as well. It opens and releases. So sometimes flashbacks happen when we're in this place. Memories start coming up. It can be kind of scary. So again, get support, get help, reach out to people. Of course, I'm still a professional doing this for people, and training you to come back and be re-empowered by your 6 personal power zones. So today, this is what's coming up for me right now, the morning of the 7th day. And I just give thanks again for everybody that is loving me and supporting me and helping me walk through this healing. And you know, it sucks. Love you guys. Bye. Hi. A lot of unwinding is happening. As you can tell, I still, like mommy, I'm cleaning house and doing things. For me, this is really personal. And this is all about layer 6, power zone 6, purpose. I've wanted to focus on money because I felt like that's what I should do as a single mom. So I took down my abuse survivor kits and stuff. And as much as I am committed and love self-empowerment for everybody to know themselves, it's, I mean, if you know yourself, like, this doesn't really shake you as much. If I hadn't a clue who I am and what my body functioned like and what normal feels like to me, then, I mean, this would be a long journey. But what makes me sad is that I forgot what I was here for. I forgot you. And I'm sorry. Didn't need this to happen. But it's weird. I'm so grateful. Abuse isn't fun to talk about. I'm really sad right now. I'm sad and I feel alone. Even though I have people all over the world rooting for me. I'm really sad. So hi, it is Saturday, so it has been a complete week. No, it's Sunday. So yes, it's been a complete week since it happened in between. Anyway, if you're watching this, welcome back. My name is Antiqua Lisha, and I am the trauma transformer. And if I questioned that before, I'm not questioning it now. So today I got up. I had pretty good dreams last night. I did have a mandala clearing, so that's something that I will hook you all up with if you're watching this. At least give you access to the person that did that for me. Did the rebounding. There's a couple supplements that I've been taking for my body that I want to share with you all today. Shame was definitely and has been the biggest obstacle for me. That and the sadness of, losing connection with the person that I wanted to date. But really things that are important for you is vitamin B12. Now this is just a generic kind, but what you want to make sure that you get is in the B12 is I can't pronounce it, but methylcobalamin, rather than the other kind, because this kind actually absorbs into your body. The methylcobalamin. Other things that are really good for you right now is Biogest. So when you're digesting a lot of heavy emotions, it's really hard to digest food, so you might not eat. I know I didn't for a few days. But Biogest is also something really great for your body. And then magnesium, potassium. So, excuse as you just like walk through my kitchen, but I use Natural Calm. Okay, so these things have been, I didn't think about mentioning them earlier because I was just walking through the motions. Shame, sadness, all those feelings still coming up. But I'm more in my body today. I've reseated my soul. I did go and worship and went to church today. And I began the forgiveness process. So if you haven't done my radical freedom technique, or if you're going through this again, you can always go back through it. Radical forgiveness is 3 levels. So we're going to go through that a little bit right now. The first one is forgiving yourself. So there was at least 3 times where universe, God was like, get out of there. Don't go. You don't want to go. You don't feel like going. And I second guessed myself. I was just being nice. I thought, oh, it's just my past coming up. It's just drama from my childhood, ignoring the drama from my childhood. It wasn't. It was like beakers. And that hurt. There was multiple things that came up, including my roommate getting locked out of the house and me needing to leave the event, where I had to look at that and go, okay, I didn't listen. I didn't do that. So I allowed myself to cry over that. I allowed myself to cry over everything. It just sucks. And forgive myself. Forgiving my person that did it to me, that might take a little bit longer, but I'm asking God for help, and then forgiving God for really, for me, it's like this mission. It's heavy. It's heavy to stand here with you guys. And I'm so blessed to know everything that I do. So walking through that and really owning that I'm a queen. I'm a queen, I'm here on mission, and there's a purpose for all of this, and I hope this video is purpose. So like I said, I woke up feeling better. A couple things that I did last night that were really hard. So for me, I was dating, and I've really had to cut the ties with everyone. So anyone I was dating, I had to say sorry. Like, I went through this and I'm cutting the ties. There was one particular person that I have a deep bond with, and I haven't really felt it needing to be. I felt kind of pushed. Not good about being sensual or sexual. Not bad about it either, but it just didn't feel like it was authentic for me. And so I had to really cut that tie and just say no. Like, I'm not waiting to see if my feelings change. I'm not second guessing myself anymore. I'm not seeing if I'm just blocking, because as a survivor, I did a lot of this while I'm just blocking. Maybe it's an old issue I still need to work through, blah, blah, blah. You know, this old fucking story of not trusting myself. And, you know, it's just crap. We get to choose to trust ourselves. And for me, in this instance, I didn't trust myself. I can see that. And that's what helped me walk myself into this situation. Now, I'm not taking responsibility for his actions in the situation. That's his deal. It's pressing charges. But I'm walking through that. One thing that I'm really holding on to right now, though, is that this one man, or 7 men in my life that have abused me throughout my entire life, that they don't get to dictate my relationship with all men. I have a fear of being alone forever. I have fear of being viewed as broken or drama queen. I have fear of leaning back into the anger that got me through so many years of my life, younger. You know, all of that is there. But what is not, what's not happening is I'm not allowing it to meaning make. So I'm coming back to meaning making, ladies and gentlemen. Like, we do this meaning making thing, and that's what depresses us. That's what puts us in disease and literally creates disease. And I've already done that. I already did the cancer from my previous abuse. I already did the depression from my previous abuse. So I don't want to do it again. So I'm trying not to meaning make, while I'm also looking at, like, yeah, like I have a fear of being a single woman forever and never having a man in my life that I can really trust. And that just sucks, because I know a ton of amazing, incredible men who have never hurt me, who I have done stupid things around and with, and who've never betrayed me. And so really gripping on to what you do know. Physically, like holding on to, do you know that you can orgasm? Do you know that you enjoy sex? Do you know that you have enjoyed sex before? Like, how can you have this sensual, beautiful relationship with yourself now? And really starting at home with you. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. Like I said, it's just been a week. I know that this kind of does this roller coaster thing. And as we walk through your program, whether it's personal one-on-one, as you're just listening to this with me, we walk through this together, or if you're in like an Amazing You program or the Divine and Nine group program, then what we're gonna do is start this redefining process. You know, and I have to tell you, like, I had to get, you know, take an office job this week. I was raped. I fucking, like, it sucks. Like, I thought I hit rock bottom before. This time it doesn't scare me as much, though. And I hope that this is helping you. So please reply, tell me what you think. My heart opens to you. I love you. And I want you to see your beauty, because you are beautiful. Bye. So hello everybody, this is Antiqua again, and if you're in this series, then you're watching me walk through a rape. So today I woke up, and I probably should have made this video then. Oh my gosh, my heartbreak is unbelievable. I'm so scared, which is kind of silly, but nobody will ever love me, that I'm going to be dealing with some of the things I dealt with earlier in my life. Not connecting with men, not orgasming, not trusting, that I'll question everything again, that I won't feel pleasure, that men won't like me, that I'll be damaged and damaged goods. I mean, I've been through this story before for my previous healing, the one that took me 20 years, and I don't want to go through it again. But this morning, my heart just hurt. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be damaged. I want to trust and open and surrender with a partner again. This is all really real and really raw, like physical, heart hurting, mental stories going, emotional pain. Like, I want to cry right now. Last night I went and I hung out with a good guy friend who I know I can trust, and just like laid there and like tried to enter back into my world of trusting and liking men and myself, and remembering that there's really great men. I also came home after that and tried to enjoy myself and pleasure myself, because I'm not as in much pain anymore. At work, like, I didn't go into bad memories or anything. It was all about me, but it anyway, it brought up this pain and this fear of being alone, being unlovable. Those are two things that I did, though, just to continue moving myself through this process. And this morning I wrote myself a love letter of why I'm lovable, why I love me. And throughout the day I have 2 more assignments for my inner knowing, and one is to write about beauty and journal about beauty, and the other is to journal about safety and what safety is to me. And then life goes on. Like, I'm going into work, and I have my radio show this afternoon, and all of that. So that is today. It is Monday. I love you all. Happy journeying. So hello everybody. I didn't make a video yesterday. So today is 6, 7, 8, 9, day 10 or 11, I guess. What I found yesterday is I woke up feeling really great. And one thing that I did do is I put myself out there again. So there was somebody that I was dating, and I told him what happened, and I said, okay, well, I might shake. Like, I don't know. If you want to take me out, though, you can. And we just went to dinner, and it was great. But what it showed me is that I can do this. I can still trust again. Another thing that was really important is I started to really remember who I am. So how I've defined myself in all 6 personal power zones. And leaning into how I define myself. One thing that most people don't do is they don't focus on all areas of their life. They focus on who they are, what they want to be in one area. They also, we tend to look out to the world to ask for validation. And is this okay to feel this way? Is it just okay to look this way? I don't know about you, but that's how I am. So I'm really amazed at how quickly the recovery is happening now that spiritually my soul's in my body. So from the Friday to the Friday, it was really, really bad. And once I went in for the treatment and I got my rebounding and everything, and came back home into my heart, into my temple, things are progressing quite quickly. I definitely went through, I think I made the video where I went through the I'm not worthy, I'm never going to be loved again, I'm broken. Yesterday there was more of an acceptance piece within me. And this morning I woke up, I did my prayers. And one thing that has shifted for me is really praying for everybody else. And today my goal is to start my morning practices again. One thing that I do, I've talked about, is drinking the water and blessing the water. So I have that here. I do a little bit of gratitude journaling. And if you've gone through the 12-day challenge of the 6 personal power zones, you'll understand that. I'm trying to really balance my care for each of my power zones, so every one of them gets some attention from me each day. This video is very much part of the purpose piece, because at this moment, I don't really know what I'm going to do with them, how this is going to roll out, or what the purpose is. It just felt like God said make videos, so I am. And then for my body, I'm really just trying to listen to her. I'm trying to reconnect with my sexuality. Just with myself, remember the blessings, the gratitude I have for the times that I've gotten to experience orgasm to its height, to its fullness. And I really am remembering that. So if that's something that you have never done, or something that you have problems with, or it doesn't happen, the orgasm really starts from within. It's a very personal journey. And so I will be going through that, through Amazing You, to get you connected there. So I've been focusing on that. There hasn't been too much touching or anything, just a lot of memory and a lot of heartfelt, a lot of gratitude, and gratitude towards the men that have been beautiful in my life, that have been kind, that have been respectful, and then really letting go of relationships that aren't 100% in alignment. I think the biggest thing for me is the self-betrayal that I did myself. I didn't listen. So where can I be more truthful with myself and with others, especially around saying no? And I'm not into that. Even if I look like a bitch. And yesterday I also had a great conversation with a girlfriend of mine, and we were talking about sexuality and sensuality and dating and relationships and being single, and we were talking about radical truth and what that means. And we were talking about how, what if I'm wrong, and this questioning and the self-questioning that we go through. And so I'm really opening to exploring that more and more, and seeing, I think, where I'm just scared of being wrong, where I'm not trusting myself. And I believe that stems from childhood stuff. So how can you trust yourself? How do we build that trust? And then how do we speak this radical truth with others from a place of trusting, knowing that we might change our mind? And how can we feel good about that? So that's pretty much where I'm at today. Yesterday was a really good day for me as well. I'm just walking this out. that's where I'm at. So thanks so much. Bye.
I want to thank you for watching this and for you to know that you are not alone. That every piece of you is so important, and rape is one kind of trauma that really affects your body and your mind, your vibrations and your emotions, your soul and your very security. It affects all of your relationships, and it affects how you can speak your truth and live into your purpose. And so I want you to step into each of those zones, to love yourself, to know that even if you knew all of this before it happened to you, you would still get knocked off your rocker, that it's hard to go through those emotions. It takes courage to feel everything. It takes courage to release those memories and the blocks. And you're not alone. You're not alone. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope that it healed pieces of your life. If you would like to contact me, you can at antiqualisha.com. And know that you are loved, and you are loving, and that you are enough, and that you are not broken or damaged. You're whole. And I see you. And I love you. And thank you for being you in my life. This can happen to anybody is my point. It can happen to you, it can happen to anybody. And so things to be aware of is listen to your intuition. If you feel like going to the cops, even if you have children, even if it doesn't make sense, go to them first. Go right away. Yes, it's a little invasive. When I did go through a couple days later, you'll see a video. I'll start off with the video of me leaving the police station on my way to the hospital to get poked and prodded and all the shots that, you know, because of the diseases that you can get and everything else. It's an icky situation, but it's better than not going there at all. I want to encourage you to listen to your intuition, to be a bitch. This experience helped me learn how to be a bitch. It's okay to say no. It's okay to just not do things. It's okay to not be trusting. It's not your old story if you've gone through survival before and you're like looking out to repeat and you don't want to be judgmental. Like, be judgmental. It's just better for you. Another thing that I learned is on my phone, I had the thumbprint on my phone, and he got into my phone and obviously texted people and called people while I was not functioning and not present. I hope that this helps you. I hope that it serves you, and I love you, and I want you to know that you are not alone. And if I can get through this, you can get through this. And there's going to be a silver lining. I don't know what it is, but there is one.